And our highest percentages were 41% being African American and 43% being Hispanic. And I know within some school districts there are some unintentional forms of institutional stereotypes where the classes that are AP or IB or honors are primarily Caucasian or Asian, while classes are regular education are primarily Hispanic and African American. And we need to find ways to get more students who are of African and Hispanic descent into those AP or IB classes. And we need to also find ways to have students who are already in those classes of Caucasian or Asian descent to support the students that already are in those classes of African and Hispanic descent, so that there's a community feel and a stronger bond between each other. And at one of the high schools that I worked at, they had an IB program. And the IB coordinator came to me one day and she said, I have an African American student. He's the only African American student in all of his 7 IB classes. And he feels disconnected, his grades are slipping, and I don't know what to do. And so me and her sat down and began to figure out what can we do to help support future students that will be of African or Hispanic descent that don't feel connected to the material or don't feel connected to the students in their classes. And so we created a program called the IB Club, where it was just a community group where students got together to work together. Teachers stayed after hours to help the students on their homework. And we provided treats so that the kids felt like they had a little home environment. And we began to help develop students in their education with the material. And things are changing within the systems, but we need to find ways to make it change faster to better support these students. We also asked students what hurdles they faced when it came to college access. And our 2 highest hurdles were college costs at 70% and grades and GPA at 38%. There are more hurdles than the ones that are listed on here, which is why myself and others suggest just talking with students that you work with and seeing what hurdles they might have. We might know of hurdles on our own that we think of as a group, but there might be hurdles that students come up with that we've never even thought of that we might be able to help them with. We ask students who they turn to when it comes to a hurdle, and at the highest percentage was 84% being parents and guardians. And that's the reason why we are doing things with parents, because we want to make sure parents are educated on what's going on. We want to make sure that parents know how to do a college application, how to do scholarship applications, how to do FAFSA, so that parents are educated and are able to support their children, because it's great for providers to do work with students during the day, but if parents aren't there to also support that work when they're at home, then there's a disconnect. We also asked students when they filled out if they applied to college by spring of 2010, and 69% of the seniors said that they completed an application by spring of 2010. And 69% is a good number because it's over half. However, we need to make sure that those numbers are higher to have more students who are college potential actually in the classes, so they are able to succeed to things past just going straight to work after high school. And we also asked students how much they knew about the programs in their schools to help them with college access. And in Seattle alone, we have over 42 programs that are specifically for college and career access. But yet, 56% of students said they knew nothing to a little about the programs in their schools. And 30% said they knew some about the programs, and 14% said they knew a lot. And as college access providers or providers in general, our job is, yes, to support the students that we work with, but it's also to make sure that students know that we're there to help them and make sure students know what our programs are, make sure students know that we are there. Otherwise, why are we there in the schools if no one knows about what we're doing? And the reason why we want students to know so much about what's in their schools to support them is because nationally, approximately 39% of high school graduates go on to receive a 2 or 4 year degree. And within Washington, almost all new jobs being created require post-secondary credential. And also within Washington, by 2018, more than 2/3 of jobs will require some form of post-secondary education. So we want to prepare students now to have those college degrees so that they're not worried about it when 2018 comes to figure out what am I going to do next. And once again, I want to say thank you for being here, because this is showing that you guys do care. You are here to support the students. But you might also be asking, I have all this data that you gave me, what can I do with it? And so I would say provide more support. Talk to students, talk to their parents about college early on. Work with the PTSA about getting information about college access out. Work with different religious groups in the community to get information to students about college. Work with the community centers about getting information out about college. Provide ways for students to learn more about the college application process and your own organizations. Within Seattle, we created a database system that students are able to go to and select their high school, and then select a type of service they want to find, whether it's mentoring, college access, and it lists all the different providers that are in their school to help them with those certain things. So just finding unique and easy ways for students to learn about your programs is what's going to help them in the long run. And right now, the Seattle College Access Network is working with counselors and school staff to support the college process. And that's one of the most things that counselors say are beneficial, because due to budget cuts, there's less and less counselors to students. And making connections between students and community-based organizations. If you're at your maximum and you can't take any more students, we'll see what other organizations are out there that can support those students in accessing college. And so now for our next portion, we get to have our lovely Gear Up alumni answer several questions, and with time permitting, we'll open it up to the floor for questions also. So why don't we start with you guys telling us your name, where you are, and where you want to go. And we'll start with the person closest to me and then work our way to the end.
Hi, my name is Kanani Khalil, and I'm a freshman at Portland State University, and I'm planning to major in chemistry and planning to be a